And we are live. Welcome to Travel Insights, powered by the leading travel and tourism daily news portal, traveldailynews.com and traveldailynews.asia. We are streaming live on our website, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you're tuning in and watching us from. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Escodra, and in this interview series, I have the chance to interview thought leaders, professionals, academics, and practitioners into the travel, tourism, aviation, and hospitality industries. And those inspiring people share their unique insights with me and with you out there listening. Today, I have the great pleasure to welcome to the studio Mr. Sumesh Patel. Welcome, Sumesh.
Hi, Christian.
You are tuning in now into our virtual studio from Singapore. Is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me and our viewers. We're doing this episode especially today for traveldailynews.asia, the news portal for the Asia Pacific region. You are the SITA's president for Asia Pacific. You are the right person to talk to me today on today's topic. SITA is the world's leading specialist in air transport communications and IT. You have over 400 air transport members, thousands of customers in many 200 countries and territories around the world. Almost every airline and airport in the world does business with you, with SITA. And every passenger, every one of us relies on SITA's technology and know-how. You have been responsible, Sumes, for the development and the strategic direction of SITA in the Asia Pacific region. You bring your unique expertise over the decades, working with airports and airlines. And you have implemented major IT initiatives, meeting the needs of the Asia Pacific leading airlines and airports. And you're the right person to talk today on this topic, transforming the air transport industry in general. We will go through with you to the mega trends and all the great insights you can share, but also have a unique focus and your insights on the Asia Pacific region. So uh, there is some problems with the sounds with the sound. I don't know if you can hear me correctly.
Yes, I can.
All right. Hopefully, our viewers can hear you as well. Can you maybe approach a little bit closer to your microphone there? So, Sumas, please let us set the stage where we are currently at, where we are heading. I know that your colleagues at SITA Lab have produced a great, very insightful piece of work of research called Meet the Mega Trends and Innovation Report. So tell me a little bit about this work and, in your opinion, what are the key trends that are shaping the travel industry over the next decade?
Okay, thanks, Lisa. So, clearly, Meet the Megatrend is our report that examines 12 emerging technological, societal, traveler, and economic trends that will significantly morph the travel landscape by 2023. There are several megatrends, starting from young and highly connected traveler to the arrival of electric air taxis that will, exert an immense influence on the air travel over the next decade,
Mhm.
forcing the industry, governments, and also, the technology to adapt globally and, of course, rapidly. And one important thing is that these mega trends, they do not exist in silos, right? So, but they
Mm.
operate in an evolving ecosystem. There are emerging technologies which help to interconnect these trends and help drive them forward. One thing which is key is data, which is at the heart of these ecosystem. and the increasing willingness of providers and the passengers to provide this data across the wider travel industry will help further accelerate these trends, and of course it will help to pave the way for the more connected and a seamless experience for the passenger what they want. I would say I would focus on maybe two or three key trends, right? So one
Mhm.
of the key trends which was identified in the report is the Gen Z and the millennial travel, right? So because these travelers, they don't want to talk to anyone while they travel, right? So they want everything on their mobile and fully automated. And these are the things which are really driving the digital transformation for the transport industry and demanding a more integrated digital journey. What we feel is that the future where we can travel from anywhere to anywhere without the need of physical documents or being stopped for identification. So you just walk through and have a walk-through experience, and this could be not just in the air, right? It could be your travel via air, rail, and complete end-to-end journey. The another powerful trend in the automation and the emergence is basically a smart airport, right? Which will reshape the workforce, because we really experienced during COVID that there was a really hard time on the workforce. So, the airports and the airlines had to let go some labor force, some people left, and it's really hard to bring them back. So clearly, what we are seeing is that this will give a rise to a new flattened business organization and eliminate the more mundane task and the laborious work through technology. So by 2030, even like, for example, metaverse operation, which will be a commonplace, will leading the airports, and play a vital role in optimizing their processes, which is really, really key. And one other one which I would touch upon is, for example, what we saw during the COVID was also in terms of traveling profile of the passenger. So the aged traveler, which was 65 and above, had before COVID they were about 25% in terms of the travelers, which has now grown about 35%, and that
Mhm.
shows that the requirement at the airport also needs to change. So how can they cater to them? How can you have automated wheelchairs? How can you have areas to take care
Mhm.
of them? So all
Mhm.
of these clearly, have a completely different technology and a digital transformation over the coming years.
Mhm. Great. So you already touched upon, because I was planning to ask you about the impact of the pandemic, because you're saying that it definitely has fueled the innovation and the transformation of the industry towards better solutions. But do you see any challenges or other pressing matters or issues generally at the air transport industry at the moment? What are the challenges and the issues high on the agenda that you have your eyes on?
So clearly, what we have seen, Chris, is that as a passenger, the demands are returning very quickly, very swiftly. So the travel industry must meet the new set of needs determined by the trends, right, and the challenges it faces, including the capacity constraints, congestion, staff shortages, and many more. So there will be a higher demand of IT solutions that increases the airline and airport's ability basically to adapt to this changing demand with minimum cost and effort, because cost is also a challenge. How do they manage cost,
Mm.
right? So what we see is that smart data driven technologies, they will help to meet these industry needs. Basically, they will help to automate the processes, which are
Mhm.
quite manual, so automate most of the processes, and that will help in happier passenger, the ability to reallocate staff when there's a disruption, the saving in cost and time. Of course, they offer overall an agility, to scale the operational up and down, because we've seen
Mhm.
that during COVID, sometimes there are peaks and spurs, and how do you manage those? And
Mm.
then they of course will deliver the operational efficiency by using data and insight, for the informed making decision, which will help not only achieve the economic but also the environmental sustainability.
Exactly. So, I would like to get a little bit more your insights regarding in terms of IT investment and innovation. What are SITA's insights on the top priorities that the IT services that you mentioned already? That where should be the targets, the priorities? For the air transport industry, what are the top priorities that they should focus their attention on and their IT investment and budgets on?
Our latest Air Transport IT Insights confirms that the aviation CIOs will ramp up digital technology investments to basically meet the demand of this recovery. And it was really pleasing to see that 96% of the airlines and 93% of the airports expect that their IT spend will stay the same or increase in 2023. So that clearly shows that there is a focus on making an investment on IT. And that too, not just in IT, but also in terms of digital technologies. And how
Mhm.
does this help, right? So basically, at the end of the day, it also looks at the passenger. How can they make the passenger life easier, right? So for passenger processing, this will include technologies like biometrics and automation, self-service, giving passenger an enhanced digital travel experience. For operation side of the things, it will include basically business intelligence, artificial intelligence, and data analytics. So, and basically on SITA, our solutions focus on collaboration. So how can we bring various stakeholders together, be it an
Mm.
airline, be it airport, and these will help focus on addressing the volatility in the market, through a fast deployment, flexibility, value-based pricing models, ensuring agility to our customers. So basically, at the end of the day, how can we move away from the standard capex kind of a model to more opex? So how can it be per passenger boarded? How can we move to more operational investment rather than making huge capital investments?
Mm. You mentioned, and I just showed here this very great, insightful report. The CITA's Air Transport IT Insights is a well renowned survey that serves as a global benchmark for the airline industry. I think everybody can download it for free. If they haven't already, go to cita.aero for more information and download this both the insightful reports, both the megatrends and this air transport IT insights. Sumesh has already touched upon the main points of this survey. Uh, you also said, and I'm glad that you mentioned it several times regarding the ecosystem and the holistic way of it is a very complex industry, right? So the stakeholders need to be working together and see the big picture, but also look down on the detail level as well. Um, Now let's take a focus, since today's topic is not only about the holistic megatrends and IT insights, but also the Asia Pacific region in focus is on focus because you're also the president of SITA representing that region. So tell us a little bit about the Asia Pacific Airlines market. What is its current state? Has there been a recovery? And if you're willing to share some key numbers with our viewers.
Sure, I can certainly do that. So of course, for Asia Pacific, a full-scale recovery is well underway. Of course, Asia Pacific started a bit late than compared to, other markets such as Europe and Americas, but clearly the full-scale recovery is well underway in Asia Pacific. And if you look at some numbers, as you rightly said, for us, the airlines posted about 376.3% increase in January traffic compared to January 2022. So if
Mhm.
you compare January 23 versus 2022,
So
the traffic.
376.3% increase.
That's correct.
Hmm.
So that is the increase in the traffic, so the passenger boarded, right? So which is by far the strongest year-over-year rate among the region. Of course, it started on a lower base, but we have never seen such a high passenger growth ever in the history. And of course, if you look at now the capacity side of the thing, which also rose 167.1%, and the load factor accordingly increased by 36.6%, which is to 83.3%, which is again highest globally among the various regions. So clearly, we are seeing that 2022 saw the region's air travel market reality really start reopening, and if you look at 2023 is equally positive, especially with the opening of the key Chinese travel market, and we feel that this will not have a growth only in Asia Pacific but also globally.
You spoke about China, and in the air transport IT insights report that we just shown and talked about, it shows that China's leading airlines and the majority of its airports expect that the IT spend to remain the same and or to increase from 2023 to 2020, 22 to 23. Could you give any examples of the deployments of SITA in the Asia Pacific region? Any insights specifically on China? I know that there's interesting things happening in Malaysia Airlines. And tell us a little bit specific examples. What's going on? Singapore Airlines. Tell us from your city, from your region, what's happening and what is SITA working on and cooperating with at the moment?
So I would say, for us in Asia Pacific, it's really exciting times. So you name few of our customer, and I would say we are working with almost every airline and airport in the region. But I can share a few examples. So Malaysian Airlines, they renewed the partnership with us for their comprehensive upgrade that will link their global operations to their hub in Kuala Lumpur. That will help with a fast, secure, and reliable network connectivity. And the Malaysian Airlines will leverage on our SITA Connect, which is specially designed for the air transport industry to meet their needs, and at the airport and outside the airport. The other example, when we touched about Beijing, in fact, in Beijing, in China, we implemented our solution, which is called SITA Smart Path, which helps you to have a walkthrough experience at every touch point at the airport. In fact, we implemented this solution just before COVID, but because of the lockdown, the airport couldn't use that, and we're reopening and working with that. The few other examples, for example, the similar technology we are currently implementing in Bangkok Airport. So you will see that Thai Airways has already started doing the trials for that, and you will see that in real working with all the airlines that are coming soon. Similarly, in India, we signed an opportunity with almost about 44 airports to upgrade their technology to new cloud self-service technology. So clearly, every airport and airline are at a different stage of maturity, but we see, as through our IT trends, IT insights too, every airline and airport are looking at technology to help them deal with the passenger requirement and also with managing the growth, which is really forcing in a way which is never before in our part of the world.
Very good. I like that you said about the different maturity in every market. You're absolutely right. Sumesh Patel, the president of SITA in Asia Pacific, would you like to add anything else to our show today, Travel Insights? Is there something that is very close to your heart, on top of your mind at the moment, that we didn't have a chance in this short period of time to talk and touch upon?
I would say one clear takeaway from the pandemic and the recovery period for the air transport industry, because clearly, it has navigated the operational disruption and uncertainty, around the shifting travel rules, the requirements, that has evolved. What we have learned through COVID. One thing I would say is that a proactive collaboration between all the stakeholders, be it airline, airports, government, is really really key. And for us, SITA being a neutral organization owned by the air transport industry, we are happy to bring in our part of the share to bring all these stakeholders together to make sure that we are not looking at technologies in silos, but looking at end to end.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you for the great work you do there at SITA. Greetings from Finland to Singapore. Thank you for talking to Travel Insights to me and our viewers today here on Travel Daily News. Asia special episode with the focus on Asia Pacific today, transforming the air transport industry. Mr. Sumesh Patel was with me here in the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Griffith.
Have a nice rest of the day. I know you're very busy. Continue doing the great work you're doing.
A pleasure having me.
Thank you so much for taking the time. This is Travel Insights. I'm Chris Askodra. Thank you for tuning in and watching today's episodes. For more updates on the travel and tourism and aviation industry, check out more at traveldailynews.com international edition and, of course, traveldailynews.asia with the unique focus on Asia Pacific region. Stay tuned. Every Wednesday, I go live to all our platforms and I share unique stories, unique insights with influential thought leaders and expert in the tourism and aviation and hospitality industries. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.